Hey y'all, I'm Liz.
And I'm Colleen.
And this is Mystic Midlife, and we are back for more.
For more art of.
Yes.
But completely
Multimedia.
different. So different. So we just want to talk about the actual physical multimedia.
Yeah.
And how we have lost the art of that, most likely due to technology issues, AI, etc. But also, yes, I hate to sound like a conspiracy theory person, but let's face it, everything is out to make money now.
Yeah.
Everything's out to make money and control our behaviors, especially as consumers.
Yeah.
So, first things first, I'll start off with music because it is something that has really bothered me of late. We own nothing. A lot of people got rid of their CDs, their cassette tapes, their albums. Good old McKay's. I took so much stuff there years ago thinking I would never use it. Thankfully, I still have most of my albums, a huge chunk of my CDs, and a huge chunk of my cassettes because I'm a hoarder and I couldn't let go of them. But most people don't actually own the stuff they love in physical form now. We're seeing that more and more. Things are going to a subscriber model in every single facet of life, even on your cars, which we just talked about.
Yeah.
But it really bothers me that they can choose to remove certain things from what we have available without any of our knowledge or any of our control. And they get to, using the algorithm, make a lot of our decisions for us and show us things. It can be great because, you sit and you watch certain videos or you listen to certain music and the algorithm pushes things forward to you. So you discover a new artist that you never would have seen before. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it can also really control what you see. I really do believe that.
And how you perceive things around
and
you.
How are musicians surviving right now? How the hell are they remotely surviving? Because there's so much access online. Everybody can create now, which is great. You have more access to creation. You don't have to wait for some label to pick you up and do your music. You can self-produce. That's wonderful. But how are you supposed to make a living now as an artist?
Yeah.
When you don't barely make any money from Spotify, you don't barely make any money from doing concerts anymore, etc.
Because the conglomerate that's putting it on is taking so much.
Ticketmaster, good old Ticketmaster. It's they're not making any money from their ticket sales anymore.
Yeah.
And so people are backing out of things constantly now.
Yeah.
At concerts.
The other thing too is I have seen this where I have not deep dived into it. However, I have seen that there are some music labels that are actually utilizing AI instead of actual artists to create songs, and they can program it, which
there's lots of people doing it. And sometimes they're not being honest about the fact that it's AI.
Yes.
And sometimes it's really hard to tell.
Yeah. But it's just like, the fuck?
Most of the time it's really hard to tell.
Yeah. And that's the part where it's like, how can you be doing this?
They're taking the human creation perspective out of it.
Yes. Completely. Which is wild. Like, that's the best part of it. Like that goes back to like,
I don't know, that I've heard some AI songs that were hilarious or they were good. I hate to say it.
Okay, but at the same time, it's like,
so I understand the draw.
Yeah, but
it's frustrating.
It's frustrating. It's concerning.
I think what it might do is make human created music more niche, more popular at some point.
Maybe, but I feel like all this AI, we're starting to get backlash on AI. We're starting to get backlash on technology, which
was normal. It's going to happen. Yeah,
I'm here for it because
But it doesn't mean we still haven't lost control of the beast. So who knows? But yeah, so from the music perspective, I don't see how people can make a living doing that anymore.
Because you're not selling the CDs like we used to.
But
we used
also
to warehouse music and pick out a CD.
Yeah, and you would go and you would talk to the people that worked there. Yes. I'd be like, "Oh my God, what album are you playing right now? That sounds amazing. I want to get that record." And you save up your hard-earned money and you go get it. And yes, I know we sound like old people. We're like, why can't it be like it used to be? But there was something that humans are so they need that. They need that sense of discovery. I will admit, on the way here, I was listening to on Spotify.
And we're on all the social media. We're on the platforms.
It's not like we're not using these platforms.
Yeah.
But there's a, the radio station that I grew up with in my teens and 20s, etc., KROQ out of Los Angeles. They had the best 80s music. In fact, Richard Blade was like my favorite DJ. Oh. And I got to meet him last year, and I was like almost throwing up at a concert at the Ryman. He met the fans type thing, and I was like, oh my god, it's Richard Blade. He like totally formed a lot of my musical taste. Oh my god. But yeah, I was listening to like New Order and Depeche Mode and The Cure, and just remembering how my best friend at the time, she would learn things from her older brothers to listen to, and we'd go sit in her bedroom and lay down on the bed and listen to Depeche Mode and be like, oh, life is so hard. I'm listening to depressing music. I'm so cool. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It really formed everything. And what if you didn't like really develop these tastes and those kinds of things, and didn't have and actually had an algorithm pushing things on you?
Yeah.
Making the decisions for you. That's what kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Well, the other thing too that is like the full sensory.
Instead I had Richard Blade pushing things on me, and I loved it.
I mean, but you still had that sense of discovery.
Yes.
And I think the other side of it too, and with that, it was pushed because there was a new artist that was pushing, like sending their music in. They were deciding if they thought it was wonderful. Like there was, instead of it being the same 10 songs, there were more songs that people were exposed to. Mm-hmm. Instead of it being the top 10 that is just constantly being rammed down people's throats. Mm-hmm. Because whatever.
Which I still listened to during the 80s as well.
Yeah,
I was one of those kids that grew up on MTV. Yeah. Watching MTV from the very start and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and you had all these different genres of music at the time, because you had your alternative type stuff and you had your pop type stuff. And rap was finally coming on the scene. Yeah. And that kind of thing. And I'm even old enough to remember disco.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
In its own right.
Yeah.
And a lot of the really late end of punk towards the late 70s, early 80s was on radio in Los Angeles, because they had such great radio stations in LA. I will say that.
Kiss FM.
Yeah, I remember Kiss FM was more for your pop type stuff.
Yes.
I actually got to go to my first concert because of Kiss FM. They had a contest where 2 different high schools, Fountain Valley High School and Marina High School, ended up being the ones at the end that were competing. But Fountain Valley High School ended up winning. They got a concert by Oingo Boingo.
Oh, cool.
And my mom happened to work at Fountain Valley. I was only in junior high school. My mom happened to work at Fountain Valley High School, so I got to go, and it was so amazing.
I love that.
I love me some Danny Elfman and some Oingo Boingo. That's another band I love. Anyways, basically, great radio stations. Mighty 690, which was an AM radio station, late 70s, early 80s in Los Angeles. Yeah. Played all the cool stuff.
Oh.
We had KLOS, which played classic rock. So a lot of the stuff that my parents listened to, the Beatles, the Stones. I was listening to that in the car with my boyfriend the other day, and it was great. Just great memories there.
I love classic rock.
So we can love and be addicted to multiple genres. And maybe part of my concern is that the algorithm pushes you towards one in particular.
Yes.
Instead of having varied taste on everything too. Yeah. Very much on that. I don't want to just concentrate on music.
No.
But yeah, I do feel like we've lost the art of actual music appreciation.
Well, and the other thing too, as far as like the full sensory engagement of it, because I remember like when we had CDs, we would get an album, we would get a CD.
Listen to the whole thing.
Listen to the whole thing, but then also bust out that insert and read the lyrics and memorize the lyrics,
because that's what really made you cool, is if you could sing the whole
song. And like on Spotify,
they do have lyrics.
They do have lyrics now, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. We don't take the time.
Yeah. And I actually had a teacher in high school that during our poetry portion, I want to say it was like freshman English or something, brought in songs by Simon and Garfunkel as poetry, because they were fucking poetry.
Which music is poetry.
Yeah, music is poetry. So yes, that is something that I really do think has changed. And that's not saying that there's not new artists now that aren't freaking amazing. I know she's not really a new artist, but you guys know my obsession with Florence and the Machine.
Oh, she's fabulous.
But there's a lot of new bands that are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm getting old and I don't listen to them as often, and the algorithm is not pushing them towards me because Granny here doesn't necessarily want to listen.
Now.
I'm a grandma now.
Ah!
Meemaw. No, just kidding. Don't call me Meemaw. That's my grandma. Meemaw.
You are not a Meemaw, babe.
Anyways, someday. But the point is that just doesn't seem to be that progression that really turns people into music lovers.
Yeah.
That used to be there.
That used to be. Yeah.
Where you'd really want to feel a connection with a particular band or artist. And then that segues into movies.
It does.
Movies are so different now. Yeah. And you don't own movies. You don't go buy that VHS tape. You don't go buy that DVD like you used to. And
I donated all mine. I wish I hadn't.
Even when the internet's down,
you have a DVD player.
You own it.
You own it. You physically own it. And yes. I'm kicking myself because then I had to pay for the digital options, which when you do when you purchase a digital movie, mm-hmm. you own the rights in that moment to view it. You don't physically own it, even digitally.
At some point they find that there's something in that movie that isn't politically correct.
We were talking about, I mentioned earlier, the one with Robin Hood, the
yes, they removed something from the beginning that talked about rebellion.
Yes.
You don't get to make that decision for me.
No.
I don't want things being manipulated like that.
Absolutely.
And if I buy a movie, I don't want to show up on my Amazon Prime one day and all of a sudden it's gone and I'm like, where did it go? Oh, well, we decided this wasn't an appropriate movie. Or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
That really bothers me. But then also from another perspective, AI is going to affect that entire genre so horrifically because I really do feel a lot of movies now are not as well written. They're not as well thought out. You're getting repeats of old movies that they're deciding to redo because there are not as many original ideas, I believe, in Hollywood as there used to be, though there's a few that I have not seen yet, I will admit, that look amazing to me. That Backrooms independent film that's based, I want to say, on an online game that's really creepy.
If it's scary, girl, you'll never catch me.
I know. Well, there's another one called Obsession, I think, that's just become really popular, that's bizarre, that's supposed to be outstanding. So a lot of your independent films are the only ones that are keeping the whole movie industry afloat right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
These big budget movies, nobody's going to see them anymore because they're just not good.
Yeah.
The stories aren't good.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that the actors aren't good.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that we don't like some of the people that are in them or involved with them, but there's a lot of virtue signaling going on.
Or like a lot of the books.
Don't treat me like I'm dumb.
Yes. The books that are now being turned into series or movies or things like that, like they've made changes to where there's either virtue signaling. Which I'm okay with
to some.
But the adaptation has, in some respects, potentially bastardized the initial art of what was being conveyed.
Yeah.
And that's something that I know, like with Sarah J. Maas, like she got her rights back because they were wanting to make too many changes to, I think it was ACOTAR, what they were wanting to change. And she was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, we are going to keep this. If I ever do this as a project, we are going to keep it as it was originally intended. We're not making changes.
Because people very much so, when they're reading a book,
they
develop ideas.
Yes.
Especially if they're very descriptive about the characters, of what these characters look like and how they act, how they speak, etc. I am all for diversity in all things.
Yes.
But sometimes, and I'm cool even with gender swapping characters too. That's fine. Like in Dune, I am a psychotic Dune fan. And in the new I never know how to say his last name. Is it Villeneuve? Dennis Villeneuve. I don't know, Denis Villeneuve, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
That did the Dune movies. He swapped a beloved character that is Liet Kynes, the planetary biologist or whatever, from an older male to a Black woman, and she was freaking outstanding in the movies. And some people were upset just based on that. That was stupid. How about the fact that they completely destroyed the main character's wife, basically, throughout the books, who is a supportive and amazing, strong presence, and turned her into somebody that was resentful. Those are the things that upset me.
Yeah.
When you change a character so much that it's like not following the storyline anymore.
Yeah.
It's like
the essence of that character is
gone.
She
was the humanity in the books. And I know that they're still trying to keep that vein, but they're doing it from a different perspective. And I don't really like it. Don't really like it.
Yeah.
The actress involved is fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
She's fine, but she's given materials and a different personality. And so I think some traditionalists that have read the books and loved the books are like, really?
Yeah.
You made her kind of unlikable. What the hell?
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, I digress on that.
Yeah.
But we're seeing changes right now. And I do think that what this is going to end up resulting in, especially with AI coming around the bend, people are going to just start making their own stuff. That availability is going to be there.
Yeah.
You're going to read a book and you're going to go, oh, I really like this. And you're going to just tell your AI, okay, I want you to create the book with this. I'd like the characters to kind of look like this. Heck, why don't you put me in the place of one of the characters? And now that I have virtual reality, I can insert myself into this.
Oh, with those VR goggles.
With the VR goggles. Jesus. You know, like, what's that going to do to the television and movie industry when that stuff finally comes on board? That's going to completely, that's going to destroy it.
It's interesting that the whole book thing and
if anybody's reading books at that point.
Okay, so I just saw a thing on Reels yesterday where they were talking about the fact that and I don't know if this is a person to person, I don't know if this is a generational thing or what the situation is, but there are groups of human beings who only read the dialogue portions of books. They don't read any of the descriptions. They don't read any of the backstory. And they said,
how do you do that?
Yeah, but I think those are also the people that are like saying that authors.
Yeah, some of our fairy porn, there wouldn't be a whole lot of dialogue.
No,
you're missing the good part.
You're missing the good part. But no, but like that's like I think those may also be the same people who are saying, please stop using big words because big words in literature is ableist, which fucking sends me through again to another realm.
Stop controlling language, everybody.
Stop controlling language.
There's some pretty good warnings in the book 1984 about where that leads. So,
yeah.
In my opinion, don't make a word obsolete just because you don't like the way it sounds or change. You know, obviously languages evolve over time. That's standard. That's normal. But make sure that there's the ability to look it up, understand it, understand the root of it. I really do feel like a lot of root words, especially from a Latin perspective, are not understood anymore.
No, because they're not teaching it.
They're not teaching it, and that's part of the problem.
Or is that part of the plan?
To some extent, yeah. But even from a consumer perspective,
yes.
I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I love it too. But they are trying to the evil they.
The man behind the curtain.
The man behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, none of the people you actually see.
We're just meant to consume from a media perspective.
Yeah.
Without thought. But yeah, things are going to change from a movie perspective.
It's crazy.
And then, of course, I think for a long time, news has been messed up on both sides. Now all of a sudden it's been divided into two political parties, and you can't just get your good old fashioned Walter Cronkite from when I grew up.
I would not normally do this, but this is something that
that just gave the news and let people make their own decisions, gave the facts.
Yeah.
And unfortunately now I feel like multiple news outlets are given the same talking points. It's very frustrating. So there's an art to that as well. There was an art to that I think has been lost.
Yes.
So we've gone through music.
Hang on.
Okay.
This is where it is the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012 that it was an amendment to the U.S. Information and Educational Exchange Act of 1948, which it lifted a ban on essentially like propagandized media.
Oh, so now it's okay to just have propagandized media.
Yeah, and so that's
either side, you guys.
So truly that happened during the Obama administration, and that's something that a lot of people are not aware of. And so that ban that we had on propaganda being pushed through media was lifted. Yeah. And there's a lot more to it, and y'all can look it up yourself. But that's something I'm sure it was a decision that benefited all sides.
It does.
And that is something.
You always got to be really careful with what rules you push to put in place, because then when the other side is in power a few years later, then they can manipulate the same damn thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I would encourage people to look that up, because that is one of the things that anytime people are like, well, the news said, and like, I stopped watching the news around that time for this reason. And
it's all bullshit.
It's all fucking bullshit. And because that proves it right there.
That's when you have to do the art of research, like we were saying. You got to look
the art of figuring it out.
Art of figuring it out on your own, and not just listening to what talking heads tell
because
you.
It's all propagandized. Regardless of who is.
They want us to not like each other.
Yeah.
It's very, very frustrating.
Yeah. But so media has changed.
Media has changed.
News has changed.
Multimedia, music, movies, television, our
books that are in the libraries of children that have come forward, where a lot of parents have been upset as far as what's accessible to children and what is in children's books that is should not be talked about.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, I read a lot of books when I was in end of elementary school, junior high, and then of course into high school, that would be considered very scandalous. And I think that it was enriching in many ways too. So there's a lot of stuff that they're not, like, for instance, why are we not encouraging kids to read 1984?
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
You're talking about more from a. But there are inappropriate sexual things in a lot of those books.
Yes, but even like I saw a thing where they were showing a children's book that
didn't screw me up at all.
That does exist, where it's like it's animals that are talking about what color underpants they have on, and there's a flap where you flip it up and they're wearing their they're showing their
I don't know. I think some of that's cute, but that's like where's the line?
Yeah, but it's showing children is acceptable for you to show your underwear off. Like, to me, that feels inappropriate. For there to be a book to be like,
yeah, some of us are still. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Like, there's some things where I'm like, I don't.
You're more uptight about, yeah.
I don't love the hypersexualization of children.
Well, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, I do think like
we need to let kids be kids for more years. Totally understand.
Yeah,
still educating them about their bodies. We talked about that before. Yes. Very important.
Yeah.
But like from a book perspective,
please read the things where you question.
It's stuff. Like, how about everybody reads Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury?
Yes.
And realizes that when you start controlling what people are allowed to read, or completely taking away their ability to read and get their own opinions on things, you've lost it.
Yeah.
You've lost the plot. You are full on 100% trying to control the narrative with everybody.
Yes.
And
that is a slippery slope.
Free speech is the only thing that keeps us going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it's free speech we don't like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So got to be real careful, because then if we start controlling free speech on one side, then the other side will have that same tool later on.
And regardless, or even anyone who has any sort of dissent, no matter what, like about
they need to have the right full on to speak out about what they believe in.
Yeah. Which I will say, if you look at
Even
other
if you disagree
countries
with them.
that are now losing that right, they first lost their right to bear arms.
Bear arms.
Rawr. Yeah, no. I mean, so because the whole point of that is for citizens to protect themselves from their government.
Yes,
that is what it was initially intended for.
Yes,
and should always be intended for.
Yes,
but I digress. And it's just so many things are changing, and it's whether it's AI or it's people wanting to control narratives or whatever it is, like it's very concerning.
Yeah.
Very concerning.
Yeah.
Don't love it.
So we've lost the art of.
We've lost the art of.
The art of art. Oh my God. I can't believe that we didn't even talk about that either.
Also because like Pinterest, or not Pinterest, I was telling you about on Etsy, where people are like stealing people's Etsy things.
Yes.
And because they're
if I was an actual like painter or print artist right now, I'd be freaking out.
I've seen that
they're having their stuff stolen.
Yeah.
Constantly.
So they're having to like watermark, they're having to put on Etsy, this is made by a human on their items, so that they can specify like the difference between what was AI generated or stolen versus what was actually created by the actual artists themselves, which is fucking crazy to me.
Yeah. I actually, early on, there was this beautiful calendar with different goddesses in it that I thought was really gorgeous. Like they had like 1 or 2 pictures up, and I was like, "Oh, that looks really pretty." Ordered it, and it was 100% AI. When I got it and started flipping through it, I was like, "These are AI generated." They've like taken a few different artists' tendencies and combined them into these AI pictures, which is really cool. I've done some of that. Like in the past, asking for certain pictures, asking for certain things to be created, but like turning around and selling that as original art, that's just a slippery slope.
It is.
And once again, it's going to lead to less and less creativity on the human side, because how do you fight that? How do you work against that?
And that's a natural human thing to want to do, is to create, whether it's creating food, it's creating art, it's creating life, it's creating experiences, like whatever, like that is a natural human thing to do.
Well, and AI by definition is only able to work with what it's been provided.
Yes.
So it's been shown all this artwork by prior artists.
Yes.
And so it's combining that together.
Yes.
Or doing it in the style of to make its own creation.
Well, like Impressionism.
Yes. So you can go on AI and just be like, hey, I would like an impressionistic style painting of this.
Yeah.
And it'll create it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's artists that I love, more Art Nouveau era stuff, as you guys could probably tell from if you've seen some of my tattoos. I love Alphonse Mucha. I love Gustav Klimt. And you're seeing all sorts of stuff online now that's AI generated in the styles, and it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
But there's going to be people that don't know the difference.
Yeah.
Especially, as older generations like the boomers and my generation, Gen X, start passing away. Like we actually saw those artists' pictures over time, and we can identify what's real and what's not. But at some point,
you're not going to be able to.
You're not going to be able to.
And that's where, there's so many things that.
And photography is the same way, really badly.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Well, AI generated images.
You can create any AI generated image. You can say like, I've been on vacation in France for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just heard a funny podcast where they were talking about somebody that they knew that had done that, like that was lying to them about where they were.
Stop it.
Yeah. Somebody with probably some mental health issues that was,
or they were just being
no,
weirdo.
This was somebody that was weird with this group of people. But anyways, had said that they were someplace, and it turned out that they had just been generating pictures. Yeah.
I think that, well, then I
getting stuff online.
That's where the intuition has to come into, like where we have to really train our brains to understand what the difference is. Like I can, because of,
we can right now,
but right now we can still, it's going to get harder and harder. And that's the part that's scary. that also goes back to like things being able to be propagandized even more so. And then just things not being real.
Yeah. I had somebody send me a video recently of like these puppies running up to their owners, like their potential owners, like a circle of people in chairs,
Yeah.
and showing how sweet that is. And I was like, you do realize this video is AI, right? And they kind of got mad at me. They were like, I just thought it was cute. And I'm like, I know, but did you realize it was AI? Because that's just kind of something I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
Do you realize that was completely fabricated? This feel good feeling.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real situation. And they were just really annoyed with me.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is that uncanny valley area that we keep moving into, where some of us can still tell that things aren't quite right. There's something not quite right in a movement of an animal, for instance. That's, I mean, the puppies didn't move right to me. That was, I was looking at it and I was like, that looks weird.
Yeah.
The humans they've got down pretty good.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
But you can still see
little things here and there,
like not the correct facial expression.
Yeah.
Which also trends on Instagram, where there's a current trend where you say something but you give it in different emotions and it has it listed in the different emotions. You're fucking training AI. Folks, if you're not aware of this, you are training AI.
That's
by
what
doing these
we're
trends.
all doing that. We're all doing that right now. And like I've said before, I think old lady adjusting in the seat. AI has its uses.
I don't want to train AI. I
understand. I understand, but it's coming no matter what. And I will say, part of the problem is it's an arms race. Yeah. Who gets it first?
Who gets it first?
And there are other people in this world that will definitely use it for negative purposes.
Yeah.
So I understand that desire to make sure that, you know, it's literally an arms race instead of what happened in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Or it's literally a space race, like what happened between the Russians and the Americans during the 60s. That's what this is right now.
And it's problematic. And for me, in my world, it feels very problematic.
It's not optimal.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And being old, I want us to go back to the 80s because the 80s were awesome.
Yeah.
But
90s childhood.
It's not going to happen. So there needs to be some acceptance to that on some level. Understanding why we're doing it. But then on the other hand, there needs to be some controls in place. And I think that the majority of those controls are going to have to come from us personally.
Yeah, I think. Well, and
we're going to have to encourage a culture that goes, I don't want AI in this area.
Yeah.
I understand the need for it in this area. But also from a surveillance perspective, you know, all of the cameras and the AI analysis of the cameras. Just saw a great video where this woman, they've got all these cameras up now. All over neighborhoods that are helping monitor for police, police suspicious activity.
We're not going to say the name of what it is, but y'all.
Yes. And people are knocking down the cameras and I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
But there was this lady that had run multiple errands that day in her truck and driven through this one particular neighborhood multiple times. And at the same time, somebody had stolen a package off of somebody's front doorstep. And I guess from the Ring camera, it was obviously not her.
No, it wasn't her.
But
I saw that
police still came and threatened to arrest her because her truck had been seen in the area multiple times on these overhead cameras.
Yeah.
And they were like, you were casing everything. And she's like, no, I live here. The shops are here. I drive through here multiple times a day. And they just would not listen to her. So that's where we're going to have to push back.
Yeah.
As a culture.
Well, and because with that situation, it's making it your
facial recognition.
Yeah. You are guilty until proven innocent, which is the opposite of what the actual laws are. You are innocent until proven guilty. Additionally, it is a Fourth Amendment violation. And then there's another amendment.
So everybody needs to push back when these things happen.
Well, and then there's another thing where I guess as far as like getting tickets, that they base it upon various things where you could potentially get a ticket, but there's a great deal of error the margin of error is much larger than it should be or could be, and therefore the burden is then put on the person to prove their innocence, which is also a violation of our rights.
Went through this about 6 months ago. My daughter got a ticket sent in the mail from another city in this state, stating that about 2 a.m, when she was heavily pregnant as well, by the way, wasn't even the same car. It was a blurry outline of a license plate. It was a small dark sedan, and she drives something completely different. In another, like I said, a good 4 hours away from here, that had been speeding through a neighborhood, and she got a ticket for it. And she called them and said, "You guys, that's not my car on the picture that you provided." And they were like, "Well, it was your license plate." And she goes, "I'm looking at the picture of the license plate. It does not, you can't read like 3 of the letters or numbers on this."
That's crazy.
So you guys just like randomly generated and hoped to hit.
Yeah.
But you should have compared it to the car that was on the license plate. And so we had to write multiple letters, do all sorts of stuff, go over the video and the picture content, everything to finally get them to drop the ticket. And they did. But when you take humans out of the mix, there's a problem.
Well, and then you also have a right, I don't know what, it might be your Fifth Amendment right to face your accuser in a court of law. And if
I don't remember which amendment it is.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I mean,
you also don't have to testify against yourself.
Yeah. So that's one of those things where it's like, if it's an AI camera, if it is an AI based camera and it is not an actual physical person, you have no way of facing that accuser in court. And so therefore, how are we supposed to do that?
Yeah.
Like that is
everything. I think part of the problem with this, and this goes back to that whole art of music, art of movies, art of everything is being modified to make money.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It's all about making money when it comes down to it.
It's all about money.
It's all about what subscriptions can we do? What other areas can we charge money in? I don't know if you noticed our local mall over near our local outlet mall over near a well-known hotel.
Oh yeah.
A huge chunk of the parking lot now is all valet, or you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, as people start having more and more financial issues, they're just going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to that mall anymore.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't need to make everything a commodity.
But that's where we are. We're at the point of everything's
a commodity for people up at the top to make money off of, not for us to make any money off of. So, at what point do you destroy your consumers' pocketbooks and they can't supply that anymore?
But also pay for that financial control.
Yeah. Or, you're paying for music that you may already own.
Yeah.
I listen to so many things on Spotify that I actually own the CDs of and that kind of stuff. So because ease of use. Yeah. We've become really lazy.
Well, and
I pay for, I don't know how many platforms. I've got Hulu. I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon Prime, I've got Apple TV.
Yeah.
And I need to just sit down and be like, how much am I really watching of any of this?
Yeah. It is that, yeah. It's the commodity.
Everything's being turned into a commodity. And unfortunately, the artists who are creating that stuff aren't benefiting from it.
Yeah.
There's no art to it anymore. There's just dollar signs.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that we're taking, in the art realm of things, I think we're taking out
it's another product,
beauty and joy of it. And it's just a product.
It's just a product at this point.
Yeah.
So, okay. On that positive note,
because we're doing this because we enjoy this.
Yes.
And
yeah. We're not making any
No.
I mean, you have to get to a certain point, I think, before you can even
try to monetize.
Yeah, try to monetize. And we're not that popular. I know you guys watch us secretly and you love us.
Yeah.
But it has to go way overboard or be managed in a different way in order to. And we're making a promise right now that we're not going to ever turn into those kinds of.
We don't want to.
We don't want to. Yeah.
This is for.
I mean, if we can make a little money, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean,
but this isn't our passion.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys send us your ideas.
Yeah.
On that prior podcast that we did, we talked about the art of conversation, interpersonal relationships, etc. This time we talked a little bit more about the art of multimedia and how that is changing and how terrifying it's getting. Especially, I want to stress over and over again, it's the artists who are suffering.
Absolutely. All the way around.
Yes.
Screenwriters or screenplay writers, or I think that's what it's called. The music artists, the authors, the painters, all of it.
All of it. They're truly suffering.
The crafters.
And we're going to lose that. If they get to the point, if they get to the point that they can't make some kind of a living, eke some kind of a living and feel that they're being fulfilled, that's going to disappear.
Yeah.
And then we'll be completely reliant on AI crap. Temu. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
All right. We'll see you later.
Kisses. We'll talk to you again soon. And sorry, like my arm is like locked in place now. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.